Alright, this video is going to be a little different. Went to a friend's father's funeral today, and I'm just getting back home after everything, and I was really thinking about it because unfortunately at this stage of my life I'm going to more funerals than I've been in the last 20 years. And it was a nice service. People definitely led a very good life. And I thought about some things that were said, and I thought about some things that in terms of success that many people are trying to skip over. To be successful, you have to make a decision. And a firm decision is a commitment. We live in a society where people don't want to make commitments, don't want to commit to an ideal, a thing, school, a person, whatever. It's just want to be free to do whatever you want to do, whenever you want to do it. And that's how a lot of people are rolling. And I'm not going to, pass judgment or say it's this thing or this thing. What I will say, if you live a life like that, at the end of your life, there's probably not going to be a bunch of people at your funeral. And it's not because you're a bad person. It's because you did not plant any seeds. And like I said, the funerals I've gone to, it was just amazing stuff said about the people that had passed on. And I remember a book I was reading a long time ago, and the guy was talking about imagine the end of your life and how you want that book to read or something like that. And essentially, if you don't make a decision, if you don't stand for anything, you don't make any commitments, you're not going to have that at the end of your life, because what you do today predicates what's going to happen later on. And also speaking in terms of making a decision, in terms of essentially life and death, you don't know how much time you have, just to be blunt about it. Because there are many people going, I'll do it next year. I'll do it in 5 years. I'll do it in 6 years. My dear friend and business partner who died at age 47, who ate healthy, who did all the right things, died of colon cancer. And, what I'm saying to you, if you have a dream, you want to do something, you want to be something, the time to start is now. The time to make that decision is now. Because you have no clue if you're still going up the mountain or you're on the other side and the time is ticking away. Because I know so many people are afraid of doing something and making a mistake or it not turning out well. I will say that when I worked in the hospital, and more so for my life now, because I look back and the regrets I have aren't the regrets I thought I would have. Because for the most part, if I had an ideal, I wanted to do something, I went with it. So I don't have regrets of, I wish I did this, it's like, it's a different kind of thing. And also, it's not a lot of regrets. It's not a lot. Like, I know if I had kept that job and it was stable and, I could have had it forever, I probably would be that regret pile would be like this. I'm not telling you to do anything radical. I'm not saying go out and do anything crazy. But what I am asking you to do today, when you see this video, is pull out a sheet of paper, write down some goals, and make a commitment to yourself that you're going to do whatever's on that sheet of paper. If you want to be the marshmallow king, whatever, fine, go for it. If you want to be the rollerblade, whatever, if it's reasonable. Because like, if you want to play, college football and you're 47, okay, you're kidding yourself. Probably not going to happen unless you can be a kicker. Probably not going to happen. But if you want to start some type of business, or if you want to learn the language, or if you want to go dancing or whatever, do it. Put it on the list, make that commitment, and do it as soon as possible. Because, as evidenced by the day and some other stuff, you have no clue to how long you're going to be here. And I know I don't want to be in my last breaths going, wish I did this, I wish I did this, I wish I did that. There's going to be some regrets in living life, okay? These things happen. But you got a choice. Your regret list can be like this, or your regret list can be like this. So what are you going to do? definitely don't be afraid to make a decision. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to move forward with something new, something you've never done before, because you're never going to become good at it, and you're not going to learn about it unless you actually step out and try it. I would rather you go out and try it and stumble and fail, and it's like, okay, that's not the way to do that, versus to sit back. Because I've got people in my life who've been working on stuff for 4, 5, 6 years, and strangely enough, I built a business in less time than they've been in their conceiving plate. And I'm not just going, hey, I'm the best guy, whatever. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, in 3 years, I built a business. In 5 years, they've been thinking about building a business. Or 6 years, they've been thinking about building a business. Stop that shit. Affiliate yourself with someone that motivates you. If it ain't me, there's tons of people out there. But you need to take action with a sense of urgency. A lot of people will say, hey, you work too much. You work really hard. And the thing is, what I do, I love. The writing, the storytelling, the doing the videos, that shit is fun. So I don't have the normal, I gotta get up and I gotta go to this job, and I don't have that sucking death feeling when I sit at my desk. It's like, instead of like, oh shit, I'm here, it's like, I'm here. What are we gonna do today? What's gonna drop today? There's a sense of excitement. And I want that for you. And it's not going to happen if you are not taking risk. Sure, it's scary. Bad things can happen. I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass and go, oh, no, bad things can happen. But that's a part of this journey of life. And I have discovered by really pushing myself, I discover a lot about myself, and I discover a lot about my environment. Because there's a lot of people out there in YouTube land, Facebook, whatever, the internet, that really helped me out a lot. I have people like, hey, I did this for you, and here's this, and just, it's like I give, and I turn around and people are throwing stuff at me, and it's just like, hey, have this, take this, I'm gonna do this for you, I did this for you, and it just blows my mind. You're not going to reap anything if you're not sowing anything, and this is not with a religious connotation. It's just how, in my view, how the world works. You give, you get. You may give $1, but you may get an apple. You give $1, you may get a tire. It's not going to be you give $1, you get $1 back. It doesn't work like that. But imagine, in the process of chasing your dream or doing whatever you want to do, that you push you in a position where you have to give, and you have to give, and you have to give, and you have to give. You will be freaking amazed at what happens to you on the other end. It'll blow your mind. Because recently, and when I say recently, the last 3 years, I've gone through this big change of my circle of friends. And I've noticed something today. The group that I hang with, the people it's like super, super quality. It's kind of like the kind of quality that I was accustomed to growing up. I grew up in Alabama, little town. People were concrete. They were solid. Like if Mr. Jones said he was going to do X, Y, and Z, he was going to do X, Y, and Z. There was no like, well, what happened? There was none of that. People were concrete. And then I went through this phase where people were not concrete. But then, a little digging, a little deeper reflection, when I was not concrete, the people that were in my life were not concrete. When I became concrete again, the people who entered my life became concrete again. I know it sounds so simple, but it took me a minute to figure it out, because what I'm saying is I can't stand flaky people. I can't stand it. They drive me crazy. And the reason they drive me crazy is because I know it's Pollyannish, but I feel if someone says they're going to do something, they should do it. Or at least try. Or if they don't do it, like, hey, all right, this is why it didn't happen. We live in a world where people do stuff and there's no lack of commitment. There's no loyalty on a lot of fronts. And people think that's perfectly cool. That when you're putting your stuff out there, when you're doing stuff, there's a certain level of responsibility, which, once again, comes back to commitment. Now, a little quick story here. At the funeral, a lot of men stood up, and they were talking about Dina's dad, and they were just saying how this man did so much for them. And it was just man after man after man after man. And it made me think about, what happened when I was a kid. Because I grew up in a neighborhood that was poor to middle class. And a lot of men in my neighborhood were very concrete, really solid. And that's where I got a lot of this stuff from. And I'm just like, this is real interesting. So just something, a little different video, something for you to think about, something to chew on, because essentially what I'm saying is you need to get started on whatever you want to do right now with what you have, where you are, with no waiting until things get better, no waiting until stuff mythically, majestically, all of a sudden the numbers, the stars, and the universe align, and then the perfect time is right now. The perfect time, because whatever you want to do, there's going to be some steps, there's going to be some learning, and you may not be able to do the big ball of whatever you want to do, but you can do small steps. You can at least start the process, and as it builds upon itself and feeds upon itself, you'll grab momentum, you'll bring the right resources to you, the right people will come in your life, and then you can really go after it. But if you never make that decision to start, if you procrastinate and you keep putting it off and you're like, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. And then whatever age you are now, you're going to be 60, you're going to be 70, you're going to be 80, you're going to be 90, and you're going to turn around and look at what was your life, and the decisions you make today will predicate whether you're smiling when you look back over your life or you just frowning or crying. That's the truth. All right, this is Glendon, and this is a Hustler Mindset series, because essentially you got to have the right mindset to be successful.